welcome to the video. I wanted to share something before I jump in to this session. Number one, I thought I started the recording way earlier, but I didn't. So it starts in the middle of a trade. But for those that were in the trade room, you know that we were actively trading. I was basically trading the levels, calling the levels. And I hope that there's value in the video that follows here. One of the things that I'll share is that I am trying to get to the point where I can stream and trade at these larger sizes. And the challenge for me is that when I'm streaming, of course, I might be focused on a conversation or a question, or I'm trying to show something or share something, just because I like to engage. But that is a detriment to me when I'm trading these large position sizes, because oftentimes I'm not taking profit as quickly as I should. I'm not protecting my position as quickly as I should. And also I'm not used to talking out loud. And I mean, I do, strangely enough, I do talk to Rex and I do talk somewhat out loud, but I'm not used to just sharing my thoughts and what I'm doing. And that's what would really be helpful for this. So what I've really done, and I thought I started the recording for this video way earlier than I did, but I guess I didn't. But what I've done is I'm going to record these sessions for now. I think I will get to the point where I'll get much more comfortable and much more to the point where I'll be able to share why I'm making trade decisions, why I'm exiting a trade, especially for those that are alphas and that are trading the system. It'll be very clear why I'm executing trades in certain areas. And because sometimes I'm reversing, I'm acting fast. And I'll share this before I share or jump into the video. I don't care which direction the market goes. I want to be always in. I want to be along for the ride, and I'm agnostic to the direction. And that's what you need to get to. I know, especially in the nightly recaps, the people that are there, it's one of the things that comes up often is just getting to the point where you don't care what direction it is. You're just trading what the system, the chart, the 3 questions tell you. And that's key. You'll see me do that in these recordings, is that I might spend 2 minutes talking about the direction that I think it's going and setting up for that trade and be in that trade for a little bit, maybe make a little bit of profit, but then reverse the second that the chart holds up a key level and then starts to show a pattern, rolls over, maybe momentum and bias on our entry chart. It's you in trading, especially the way we trade, this predictive style. Your whole goal is to be along for the ride and pull capital from the market. Your first goal is to protect your capital. And then your next goal is to be along for the ride and pull capital from the market. You shouldn't care if it goes up and down, and I know that's hard to not have a long or short bias. So anyways, let's get right to the video. So what follows is just probably about an hour of me trading. Also, you'll hear people in the trade room as well. Down below, you'll see a link to Discord, so join that. If you are interested in trading the single best trade system known to man, just get in touch with me. Send an email or join Discord and say, how do I get started? How do I become an alpha? I'd like to talk to everybody before we get started. All right, let's jump in. So I did reverse there once the momentum changed. We didn't even get that was the false break. It was all the way to the RDA. Another win for the RDA, huh? Give it up for the RDA. I'm going to readjust my stops here to see if I can stay with this trade for a little bit longer, give it a little bit more room. Feels like it's pretty volatile to the upside. Look at that. I think it's going to keep going. Our next stall point is, remember I talked about the control. So our next stall point really is, I mean, you can see it on chart 1 as well, of course. So our next stall point is our control, chart 3. See, I shouldn't say control chart, because the control chart what I'm really saying is that when you're developing a trade system, your entry chart needs to have a higher control chart. Now, but that's not taken away from how we use control chart, which is which chart is controlling your trade. I'm saying that because if we're talking about swing trading, and let's say I'm doing my long-term swing trading, like on Forex charts, my 240, which is the 4-hour, is my entry chart, and then my control chart is the 4-day. I'm looking at 4-day levels to then analyze a 240 entry, using the 240 levels and indicators as entry points. This is turning in not too a bad trade. I probably should take some profit at this zone up here. Because this would be a double top on the 5-minute. If it hits that, stalls and rolls over. So I'll take some profit. I'm gonna try to pull this back a little bit more. Not try. Anyways, so I'll go back to the chart. Now what I wanted to talk about yesterday it's just understanding which one has dominance. Okay, so yesterday, if we look at the chart, and we have a pullback. I should do a separate video on this just so we can talk about this concept. But man, it's really slow. We have a pullback, and then ordinarily, because we're momentum short, we would be looking at this RDA level here as, okay, that's our sell level. Well, it's so close to the weekly open. Also, you've got the VWAP up here. It's so close to that you have to really decide, going into the sell actually of the RDA, you have to really understand that what's going to have a greater pull, the daily open or the RDA, or what's going to have a greater reaction opportunity for a continued sell-off. And what would be pulling price to the upside, which would be the daily open. So you always have to go into this, and that's why you have to know these key levels. You have to understand where's the week open, what other key level might be affecting this trade beyond just the 5-minute RDA. Because if you were going off, if we took this off, now in some ways you could look at this and say, well, I could probably still get away without that knowledge, right? If we took that off and you didn't know the daily open at all, which it should just be a standard thing you could argue, I guess, that this is just an overshoot of the RDA because it eventually fails. But wouldn't it be really nice? I mean, that's what also is interesting here, is that this red line is the midpoint, so that also was the midpoint of the day. But wouldn't it be really nice to understand why did it overshoot that way? I say often we shouldn't ask why, but all you have to do is turn on the daily open and say, well, that's what it tagged and that's what it failed at multiple times. So that's what pulled it up there. Oh man, I didn't get taken out of my profit and it pulled back pretty steeply. So we'll see. I put my profit was right here. Well, maybe I've got one at the, I think I'd re-enter anyways based on this move on our RDA overshoot. Where I wanted my profit was up here. If it gets back up there, I might move it up. Everybody understands the precedence concept, right? Anybody that has a mic?
Yeah, that's helpful. It's a helpful explanation because I had that question yesterday on the overshoots. Today was another example of that too, but the level was a lot higher when we went right on through.
I mean, I've said this often. Every day it's a fight for the daily open. And if the weekly open's in play, then it's a fight for the weekly open. You know, those are just, it's just the way the market works. You know, any trader, no matter what system they trade, they're tracking where is price in regard, any serious trader, I should say. They understand where price is in regards to the daily open. You turn on the news, they're talking about where price is at in regards to the daily open. Percentage up, percentage down, you know. And then the next thing that they're talking about, where are we at on the week? And then where are we at on the month? And then where are we at on the year? Right? So these are just, you know, 101 things that should be built into any trade system. And they will take precedence among our computed or made up indicators, because if you had a pie chart of how many, we don't know why the RDA works, right? But I don't think there's a lot of people that are using the RDA in their system. But it captures, what the RDA has to do is it has to capture some other indicators or other factors that the market's using to make decisions. And we don't know what that is, but we just know that, you know, more times than not, we do see price react around there. So I don't think it's because, you know, all of Goldman Sachs has the RDA installed in their machines. I just think that whoever, you know, the market as a whole, it tunes into the various indicators or things that the market as a whole uses. In regards to the daily open, that's just, it's just a real market number that, you know, look, are we up for the day or down for the day? It's simple. So that's why it should always take precedence. That's why it should be something that's in the forefront of your mind and guiding your trading. I haven't talked about the opening range today. Is that because we're well above it? I think we are, right? Yeah. Kind of stalled here. Still remaining momentum and bias long. Sorry, I'm not showing my trades. It's going to be that time where all the birds are coming out. We have a lot of birds and stuff. I really like our springtime when the leaves come out, because it sounds like a jungle where I happen to live. So it's I'm looking forward to this spring. There we go. I think I'll move my profit up. I'm going to give it a little bit of room. I'm fully protected on this position now. I might just remove this profit and just write it up. I think that's what we'll do. I'll reset all these. because every time that it's broken a high today, it's really just ripped. So we'll give it an opportunity to do that. I'll give it plenty of room to do that. Got 45 minutes till the market close. I think if I wasn't in a trade, I'd be a buyer down to the RDA on chart 2. And I'd
One
probably,
thing I'm noticing
yeah, go ahead.
is there's a very big difference between the MNQ RDA and the NQ RDA. Huge difference on C2. Which is interesting because calibrating things is just needs to be taken into account.
Yeah, I guess, you know, I should go. I mean, I keep saying that. I mean, does the NQ seem more accurate, is what you're saying, on chart 2?
It's much faster, the momentum shifts and bias shifts on the MNQ. It's a little more hardy, I think is the way I'd explain it on the NQ. I have them both up now just because I'm curious to know which one I like more, even though I'm trading the MNQ.
I think that's probably the answer. I think probably where we're going to stop if we look at this, I think because we're in the previous day's candle, got to look at a key level there. Wait. Why does that? Why am I not in a previous day candle here today? But then why on here am I in a previous day candle? That doesn't make any sense. Am I drunk? I'm not drunk. Why does TradingView's NQ candle not match Tradeovate's? Oh, this is the MNQ. Well, that doesn't matter. Why do these candles not match? This is NQM4. NQM4. This makes no fucking sense. Why do these candles not match? What the fuck? This doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways, what I was going to say is probably the target is 50% of the previous candle body, which is right around 594, which is coming up on maybe 599, so right around 600. So I'm going to take profit right around 600 for some of this. Can't complain about an $80,000 trade though. Well, let's see if we can get it up to 100. Well, I'd have to cash out to get up to 100, but
An awesome trade.
yeah. There we go, up to 103, 104. Let's take some off.
Order filled.
Oh, we're only in 60. I don't know why Trading Views and like the previous day's candle is not the same as what's on Tradovate. That makes no sense. Same time. Like, this is literally stupid. It makes me feel like I'm an idiot. Because it doesn't make sense to me. But I keep going. I might clear another 100 grand with just these 60 lots in. Wow. I mean, the target would be up here. 639. Let's see what the 60-minute. So we're beyond the ATR on the 60-minute. So the yellow line is the ATR. So from the open, so that's the Rexdog ATR, from the open to the close, that's what we would expect would be the ATR move. What I want to do is I want to say, okay, well, make it customizable and say, on the 60-minute, I want to look at the total range of, give me the biggest range of the last 20 candles, you could say, which is 193. This is the biggest candle I could see. And then I'd want to put another line up here. And then that would be where the other line would be up here from the low. It'd be from, because remember, this is range. This is from the open. So the ATR is from the open, and then this is from the low. So that would be your range. That would be your, so it would say, you know, look 30 candles back, and then the last 30 candles show me the largest range that's happened in the last 30 candles. And then that would be what you would see on the ATR, which I think probably what another way to do it would be, and let me see if I can manage this trade. Looks like it's getting a little heavy here. I'm gonna get out to maximize some profit, because I might want to sell this here. I mean, really, the true level is the 60-minute level at 773, like I mentioned before. But there is a breakdown candle up to 762. This is 50%. I mean, kind of in the same. Well, no, that's we've already dealt with that. So if we go to the 60-minute candle right here, this level here would be the next target I would be targeting. Which, let's see if that's actually within the ATR range of what we calculated. I bet it is. No, it's not. It's actually well below it. So what I'm trying to figure out, what I'm trying to build, and I've looked at other ATR indicators, and if I haven't found one that does this. I want to give us, what's the Rexdog ATR, which is the yellow line. It should be orange probably. Oh no, yellow, because we use yellow for RDA, sorry. And then what's the largest move that makes sense? And maybe what we should do is since it's a green candle, what's the largest green candle, X amount of candles, right? Range. And I think the largest green candle that we can see is actually this one here from today. Which is 116, which puts it right here, right at the mix 200. That's probably the answer. Let me put notes for that. So what did I just say? upside, I would say. Upper range ATR calculates move based on same direction / color candle, largest range from X amount of candles. Example, green candle, current, looks back X, user defined, let's say 20, to find largest green range candle, plots upper and lower range. Could make this dynamic too. Well, because it's green, what's relevant is the upside, not the downside. Could make it dynamic and actually just do idea. Make it dynamic. Get largest red candle range and have that plot do downside, although irrelevant, given. So it could make this dynamic where it would only show up whether or not it's green or red. So in the case of a green candle, it would dynamically showing, okay, what's the highest range that the market has produced over the last X days? What's the, and then if it was green, if it was red, then we'd want to know what's the highest range candle around the last X day. And if I was really smart, or if I actually wanted to spend money and pay a developer, which I go back and forth just because I don't need these things, but I think it's cool, is that if we could analyze the last 5 candles and I can come up with a pattern, I could create breakdown patterns based on where we're at and then say whether or not it should be relevant on what candle it should look at. So for instance, this pattern here tells me it's a breakdown pattern. Easily definable. Sorry, I'll go back to the trades, everybody. I mean, we're just sitting on it. Not red. I might short if it comes up. I want one more impulse up that is an exhaustion, then I might short. But I might get knocked out here. So let's say, but then this pattern here, I'd easily identify as a breakout or as a support pattern, breakup pattern. Do we have anybody in our community that's good with PineScript? I'd rather pay someone in the community. Well, if we were to look at this 60-minute candle and break it up the way we should, the 75 mark is right here at 621. So 621 is our zone that we would be looking for the first reaction. So we got shy of that here. what is this purple line? That's the upper weekly. Yeah, this is the weekly upper control. So here's the sell zone, and we're running out of time today, but the sell zone's between the weekly upper zone and the 75%. So from 634 to 621 is the sell. 621 to 634 is the sell zone, if it gets up there. We'll break this off into tens. 10, 20, 30. Once we hit that, then what did I say? To 634. And then we're going to do an overshoot of up to 6. What's that range? 621 to 634 is 13. So 34 would be right around 47. That'd be an overshoot. That'd be my scale in for the next short if it gets up there. Might be a little optimistic given the amount of time we have in the market. 30 minutes left in the market. I'll move this down so we can participate as much as possible. And I might re-enter. If it hits the RDA and I get taken out, I might add to the position with the expectation. There we go. Got to be careful that this might be the pullback zone. So here's a prime example. So we use the 5 minute. Let's say we have a look back of see, the problem is the open really screws you. So you'd almost want to do a look back of, let's just say 20 candles. And say this is the largest red candle range that we have, which is 55. So then you would take this over here. You would do this. And then you would have that zone between here and there. Hitting the RDA in chart 2 right now. So that would be the ATR value, and then this would be the max ATR we've seen in recent times. Within the last 20 candles. I know not the most exciting thing for me to cover is me trying to figure out finalizing the ATR indicator, but I want something actually useful. Otherwise, that's why I haven't published it, because nothing in the ATR realm have I found useful. Meaning that the ATR or the RDA is useful. Friggin' works a good majority of the time. It's a bias indicator. It has reactions. Well, if I'm going to put my stamp behind a ATR indicator, then I want it to be friggin' useful. Meaning that it's something that we see works time and time again. And right now, the ATR works every now and then. Works pretty decently, which is the Rexdog ATR. It's just taking the same Rexdog numbers and applying the Rexdog, the RDA concept to the ATR. Is all that's doing. But then when it doesn't work in extreme situations, then I want an extreme answer that works, that we can rely upon. Meaning that, okay, the ATR was blown through, which you would expect on a rollover. You know, momentum's gonna increase. Well, what's my extreme band of the ATR? I guess I could try to do. I've tried to do multiples. I've already tried to say, okay, well, let's do 1.5 of this and 2% above or 2. I'm missing a blank or missing what I'm trying to say. Well, will the actual M9 hold up here? And the RDA on chart 2. Doesn't look like it. Looks like I'm going to get knocked out of a lot of these positions here. You know, it's pointless to do all these frickin'. I should just do 50. Yeah. All right, got to be careful of that. We're in the last, I don't even know if I should be trading here anymore. We're going to hit a volatility mark, so this is probably the next area I'd want to enter. Let's see if that worked. Here's our ATR. Yeah, I need to code that up. I'm short real quick. 100 lots. Now 75. Tide stops. It's either going to go to the M24 here and come back up, or it's going to It's going to get volatile here in a second, so I don't want to be on the wrong side of that volatility. Which I might have hit it here. There's a
I
level
believe
there.
there's
What's up?
sorry, what's that?
Nothing. I just
I
said
was
there.
going to say, I believe there's an earnings report at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Here, I mentioned it this morning.
Order filled.
Yesterday's earnings report was pretty impressive.
Yeah. All right, now I'm in 50 lots remaining and fully protected position. Provided it doesn't bounce over my. I'd expect volatility to pick up here. At this point, where I would probably want to be a buyer is right around the RDA in chart 1. This is the level. This level breaks, then we got a lot of levels down below on chart 4. Here we go. That was a nice trade to be part of. Can't complain about that. Up another 24,000. Yeah, can't complain about that. Guess all my talk about where it was going on the upside was wrong.
Well, what's nice is you were flexible and turned it around.
Oh, yeah. I probably will look at being a buyer, even though it's late in the market at the RDA. Or this level here. Right there. Right around 500. Just below 500. Probably is where I'm more opt to be a buyer, actually.
Yeah, see, that's really useful because that's the level as opposed to just the RDA overshoot, right?
Yeah, I would, just given it's the end of the day, plus just the way it's moving. You know, it could, I mean, like it did before, it respected the RDA before. But there wasn't a level there. The level was actually much deeper. So, but this is one where the level's so close that, you know, I would be more on the side of playing the level than the RDA. I'd still, but once again, it's getting to the point where most people should probably turn off their screens and not trade. You know, because it's getting into the last, well, that was the M24. So now it's, do you sell this? I think you do. You sell this zone here, at least I do, with very tight stops. And you risk a little bit of capital. So I'll risk a little bit with tight stops here. Am I not going to get the full 100? I don't think I'm going to get the full 100. Guess I'm just going to have to be okay with possibly 50. Really playing off that open there, the open of the current candle, which aligns perfectly with where chart 2 is, the indicators. So, you know, you're playing two correlating levels. Gotta be careful, the volatility is gonna hit here, so I don't wanna be on the wrong side of this. Alright, now we're gonna do tight stops. Until it moves in our favor better. Now it should just rip. I'm anticipating. One more minute in this candle. We want to see a red close and then follow through in the next candle down to this level down here at 496 spot 50. There we are. All of our trades are in profit. We can start dividing them up a little bit, give us a little bit more room. And well, I tried. Yeah, if I can move my stops. There we go. Might have been a little overzealous there because now we just got the, you know, you got the open of the next candle, so then it's going to try to probably push up. And hopefully our stops aren't too tight. Here we go, pushing down. About 23 grand there, not bad. Probably should take some profit right here in this zone just because it is a stall zone. I'll do that. I took 25 off just because it's in a stall zone there. $50. Why are these gathered together? I know why they're gathered together. I'm just friggin' annoyed. Okay, it loses this open. If it loses the current open, then I don't see why it won't sell off. I'm expecting volatility here any second. Maybe get closer to 10 minutes in. Now that M24 is holding on chart 1 pretty good. Don't think it's going to hold for longer. What do you think, buddy? It's going to hold? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The Rex says it's not going to hold. So we got that going for us. So my two zones to the downside is this would be my aggressive buy zone right here. This upward is the level buy zone, chart 1. I guess I'm getting to the point where I can stream these larger trades. I did a little bit of going off chart for a little bit, and I just got to recognize when I do that my position has to be protected, and I can't do that in times when I should be watching the chart. Yeah, gonna get stopped out here. Added another 50 lots to the sell with close stop losses. At this point, it's either going to sell off or not. So I'm risking about 8 grand. There we go. All right. Ah, that friggin' level, man. This level, this friggin' bullshit ass. There we go. Just break it. This 536 bullshit level keeps stalling, messing up my. Well, not really messing up my P&L, but just needs to break so I can make more than. Oh, seriously, dude, you're gonna stall there again. Nope. There we go, finally, jeez. Now it just needs to break solidly and stop playing around with this level. It's still playing around with this level. Yeah, little bitch. I knew it was gonna do that. Yep.
Order filled.
It might hold that level, so I'm gonna be careful here. A little bitch ass 536 level. No, it's not 536 anymore. It's this little 534 level. All right, I'm out. All right, I'm done. There's probably more to be had here in the downside, but there's no reason to be messing around with it. So any questions before I jump off here?
Great having you here.
Yeah. Not a bad
And
afternoon.
got a lot of watching you trade.
Yeah, it's alright, there we go. Sorry. It failed again, so I'm gonna do one more sell. I mean, it just feels like it's gonna go down, but maybe I'm just being aggressive here. Yeah, I'm being too aggressive here. Yeah.
Stop filled.
All right. Yeah, so I'm gonna jump off. Well, sweet. I should be around for tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get up for the open and actually stream the open and do the open tomorrow. It's been tough the last couple days, so I'll do that. But
I'm sorry, Rex, did you mention you're going to record this session?
I have it recorded. I don't know when I'll get to editing it and putting it up. I'm recording it. I just whenever I get it edited, shouldn't take much. I just need to go through and probably chop off the front and the beginning, and then edit it, and render it and put it up. But I am recording it, so.
Cool, thank you.
But I think I'll be able to start streaming kind of more of these trades, just because I'm getting more comfortable with just ignoring whatever's going on and just focusing on trading. So it looks like it might even rip
I mean,
up.
for what it's
Go ahead.
worth, I don't mind when you don't feel like, and again, I'm not speaking for the group, but for myself, don't feel like you need to entertain me with, I think we're all good. My assumption is we're all good just watching the trade, and if you gotta concentrate, you gotta concentrate.
Yeah. No, and I think that's what I'll get to, or that's where I'm going. So, I mean, I'll mix it up on days that I feel like super trading, I'll super trade, and then there'll be days where, what I'm finding is there are days where I just don't feel like super trading. And I feel like just kind of hanging out. Maybe still being there in the market, but not really super trading. There's a big difference between when I'm super trading and when I'm not. So, but I'm getting more comfortable with it. So yeah, definitely for sure. But like I said before, I'm going to try to maybe record those sessions. And that's what
And
I'm
it puts the
doing.
pieces. When watch you, it's like the puzzles, putting the pieces together, videos that you had. For me, this is watching that real time and they're really going at it is very useful because all the training then starts to go, oh yeah, okay, yeah, see that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And that's what you mean by failing. That's what you mean by, all these different, that's what you mean by a level or overshooting the RDA because the opening range high is there, whatever it is.
Oh, good. That's good to hear. Good to know. So I'll keep that in mind. Looks like we're going to probably shoot up the rest. It might shoot up the rest of the day if you're aggressive. It might not too. It might have a big volatility move. It's got to get above the RDA on chart 2. But if it gets above the RDA on chart 2, a solid close above, like an alpha candle, it could really rip. But we're hitting that super volatility time where it's going to get crazy. So it's, if you like trading the open, now's the time to trade like the open. So yeah, I think it's going. There it goes. Yeah, there it goes. I couldn't help myself. I had to get in. So I'm in. I want to reset all that, so I'm actually in profit. Take what the market gives me here. We'll see. Well, we got to close above the RDA on chart 2. There. All right, that's the last time I'm going to move any of my stops. Now I'm just going to see if we can, well, now I'm going to reset them a bit. There we go. Not bad. Another 37. Let's take some off. So in 75, everything's well in above my stop or above my entry. Yeah. I couldn't help myself. Look, when you see a structure like that building on the downside and you just see it, at first I thought there was more downside, but when you see it building and then you just see it not like that level that was pissing me off at 36 or 34, well, when you see something like that, I mean, you can get pissed off about it or you can trade it. So I decided to trade it. Well, let's see if the rest of this here, 50,000 or 50 lots, moves up with it. Gonna have the market close in about 3 minutes. Might just stall out here.
Rex, with Microsoft and Google report earnings right after the close, do you think it will?
Oh yeah.
Any?
Oh yeah. No matter what it is, it typically does. So,
okay.
That's why I'm in a position. I'm good, and I'll keep these here. It looks like it's going to rip up, at least first, initially. It looks like the initial reaction is that it's going to rip up. And then that's where, maybe we'll get an opportunity if we look at our chart to talk to trade the zones that we were talking about on the 60, right? Which was this zone up here, this kill zone. I can't believe I just used the word kill zone. Oh my God. Turning into ICT. This sell zone. So, with the reporting, if it rips up here and we have enough time after I didn't plan to stay, I was going to
finish, but I got pulled back in. One minute, I'll have reporting here. Might knock me out too. I might not even get to participate. Oh, there we go. I was knocked out. Yeah.
Yeah, got knocked out too. Yeah.